Veterans, what have I told you? One of the most painful conditions that veterans deal with every day is also one of the most underrated VA disability claims. If you've got foot pain, heel pain, trouble standing or walking, and the VA told you or somebody told you 10% is the max, that's a lie. That's not always true. Today on this live stream, I'm breaking down plantar fasciitis VA ratings from 10% all the way up to 40%, what you need to do to meet the max criteria of 40%, and why so many veterans are lowballed or denied. Okay, so let's get into it. Plantar fasciitis can cause persistent heel pain that interferes with walking, standing, and working. If your symptoms began during service or developed due to the physical demands of military duty, you may qualify for VA rating for plantar fasciitis. Okay, this live stream is going to explain how the VA rates plantar fasciitis, how to prove service connection, and how secondary conditions can affect your overall compensation. So, again, the VA rates plantar fasciitis at 10%, 20%, or 30% based on whether one or both feet are affected and whether there is no relief from both non surgical and surgical treatment. A 40% VA rating for plantar fasciitis applies only when there is actual loss of use of the foot. I hope that's none of you all, but if that is, you could qualify for a 40% rating if there is actual loss of use of your foot. Plantar fasciitis can place additional stress on your body and lead to secondary conditions such as heel spurs, pain in the ankles, knees, hips, or even your lower back. Okay. So, very important to understand that. Plantar fasciitis is one of the most common causes of heel pain, and it frequently affects those who have spent years standing, marching, running, wearing boots, etc., with limited arch support. It hurts now whenever you walk. The condition involves inflammation of your plantar fascia, which is basically a thick band of tissue that runs along the bottom of your foot and does what? It supports your arch. So, plantar fasciitis is more likely if you have the following here: a history of long distance running or high impact physical training, okay? Prolonged standing during duty or deployments, poor arch or heel support from footwear, such as maybe combat boots, increased body weight, and repetitive stress on your feet over a period of time. Okay. The VA rates plantar fasciitis under diagnostic code 5269. And again, with potential ratings of 10%, 20%, 30%, or 40%, depending on the severity of your plantar fasciitis and depending on whether the condition is unilateral or bilateral and whether symptoms persist despite non-surgical and or surgical treatment. Again, a 40% VA rating for plantar fasciitis is only awarded if there is actual loss of use of your foot and you must meet the service connection requirements. Okay. So again, diagnostic code 5269. Okay. Plantar fasciitis. 30% rating is that you get no relief from both non-surgical and surgical treatment, bilateral. Okay. That's how you qualify for a 30% rating. A 20% rating is that you get no relief from both non-surgical and surgical treatment, unilateral. Okay. Otherwise, unilateral or bilateral, if you just have plantar fasciitis, that is typically a 10% rating. Okay. Understand this: with the actual loss of use of the foot, it is to be rated at 40%. Also, a golden nugget: if you, the veteran, have been recommended for surgical intervention, but you are not a surgical candidate, right? It should be evaluated under the 20% or 30% criteria whichever is applicable. So the rater will go back and ask, are you getting no relief from both non-surgical and surgical treatment bilaterally? That would be a 30% rating. And or are you getting no relief from both non-surgical and surgical treatment unilateral? They would opt for the 20% rating. That is how your rating is derived. So it's depending on the severity of your plantar fasciitis. Okay. So, how do you prove service connection from plantar fasciitis, right? To be eligible for a plantar fasciitis rating, I always say this, I'm going to keep repeating it. I might sound like a broken record, but you must establish service connection in the following ways. To establish primary service connection, you need the big three: a current diagnosis of plantar fasciitis, number one. Number two, you need an in service injury, illness, or event. And number three, you need a medical nexus connecting your plantar fasciitis to your service. You need a nexus letter. If you need a nexus letter, reach out. We are here in a safe place to go to point you to the right set of doctors that can help you. Okay. They're not on our team. Nothing is biased. They're going to look at your evidence to make sure that you qualify for it before they're going to whip up a letter and just throw mud at a wall. Okay. Secondary service connection. Okay. Very important here. Secondary service connection. If you didn't get seen for plantar fasciitis, which happens quite a bit while we, as veterans, are on service, you could secondary it. Okay. It may qualify as a secondary service connected condition when it is caused or aggravated by you need to have another service connected disability. Okay. This could occur due to an altered gait caused by a service connected hip, ankle, knee, and or back condition. Okay. So you guys, gals with back issues, knee issues, ankle issues, hip issues, this is for you. Okay. But to connect this, okay, to prove secondary service connection, don't try to wing it on your own. You need a current diagnosis and you need a medical nexus opinion. Okay. Explaining how your primary condition, whatever, the back, the hip, the ankle, the knee, caused or worsened your plantar fasciitis. Okay. Listen, a well written nexus letter, not all nexus letters are created equal. A well written medical and scientific literature backed nexus letter can provide the missing link clearly by clearly explaining how your plantar fasciitis is connected to your military service. Make sure it's backed with citations and proven sources. Don't just go to your doctor and listen. A lot of doctors don't know how to write this stuff. A lot of doctors, when you think about it, are just focused on their specialty care. There's not a college or a degree for writing nexus letters and filling out disability benefits questionnaires. So not all nexus letters are created equal. If you need help, reach out. We are here. Okay. Reach out. Okay. How do you file a claim? The quickest way to file is online, but you can also download and complete VA Form 21-526EZ and submit it. Again, if you're providing new and relevant evidence because you were denied before, submit it on a supplemental claim. If the VA screwed up or jacked up and there's a duty to assist error, then you want to do a higher level review. But go to va.gov, file your claim online. You can do it by mail. You can do it via fax. You can do it in person at a VA regional office. Okay. Very important. Okay. Let's talk about the CMP exam for plantar fasciitis as well. This is your big day. It's very important when you're going to get evaluated and you're going to see that examiner who's going to fill out a disability benefits questionnaire for your plantar fasciitis. So veterans, what should you expect? A compensation and pension exam for plantar fasciitis typically includes a physical exam and a review of your symptom history and severity over time. The examiner may order X-rays to look for objective findings such as heel spurs, etc. Listen, during the exam, clearly explain how heel pain limits your ability to work, walk, exercise, or function during flare-ups, okay? It's also important to document any treatments that you've tried, such as heel cups, inserts, or night splints, and whether they provide relief or not. Keep everything documented, stay treated, come with all the ammo to the firefight. If you need help, reach out. It's very important that you understand this. Okay. So again, this condition is extremely common if you've done a lot of ruck marching, spent long hours standing on concrete, had boots with poor support, physical training, and overuse injuries. Okay. This isn't just foot pain. This is chronic function limiting pain veterans. And the VA does recognize that. But remember, the burden of proof lies on me and you as the veteran. Make sure you're prepared. Do not climb that mountain alone if you don't know what you're doing. Okay. And again, as of the updated VA rating schedule, plantar fasciitis has its own diagnostic code. And again, you've learned how the ratings work: 10%, 20%, 30%, or 40%. This is rare, but possible. And again, you may qualify for that 40% rating if foot function is so limited it's comparable to loss of use, if you have severe pain, instability, or inability to ambulate effectively, if you need assistive devices required like a cane, walker, wheelchair, etc. The VA will not hand this out. It must be clearly proven. Okay, hear me again. The VA is not just handing out anything. You must clearly prove it. That's why you've got to get connected. Okay, here's where most claims go wrong. Why veterans get underrated or denied. Your pain is not clearly documented. There's no mention of functional loss. You're not getting proper treatment. Your compensation and pension exam minimizes symptoms. That's why you need to come in, boxing gloves on, ready to go. You don't need to minimize. Don't lie, but don't minimize, right? A lot of veterans just tough things out during the exam. That's not the time to do it. We're not in the military anymore. You're a veteran. Don't suck it up and deal with it. Don't just tough it out. That's not how you're going to win with your VA claims, okay? And there's no evidence showing treatment failed. Okay. Veterans often say, I can walk, it just hurts. Okay. Don't do that to yourself. Don't sell yourself short, because let me tell you, a lot of veterans do. The VA hears, guess what the VA hears? When you say I can walk and it just hurts, they hear condition isn't that severe. And they write that down. Words matter. Documentation matters. Okay. Your secondary and combined ratings, right? Plantar fasciitis can also cause or aggravate knee, hip, back, or altered gait problems. Listen, this opens door to secondary service connection, which may be what you need to get you over the hump to 100% or get you to the next rating level, which can significantly increase your overall VA rating. So if you're a veteran with plantar fasciitis and you're sitting at 0% or 10%, don't assume that's the end. Know the rating criteria. Document functional loss. Don't minimize your pain. You earn these benefits, okay? Like, subscribe, share this live stream with a fellow veteran if it's helped you. Stay proactive. Do not be reactive, okay? Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you for tuning into this live stream. We care about you. We love you. God loves you. Keep going. Do not give up. Keep going and staying in the fight. Thank you guys and gals from the bottom of my heart for your service. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Love you guys. I'll be on here tomorrow.